So yeah, I thought of a good way to explain the hologram today. So if you look at a checkered board, you see all those different spaces in the black and the white offset, chessboard, checkerboard, whatever, black and white spaces, right? But in between each vertical space is a X or a cross symbol. And the reason it's called a checkered board is because the word checker means cross. Check is cross. Just type in etymology check and you'll end up at the cross. And so just like on a checkerboard, you see it on this highway, the black and the white. You see it right here. So the checkered board is the cross repeating and repeating. So just like a video game like Second Life or some of these other games where they're playing video games, that out there doesn't exist until you get there to save memory on the computer. Now this is a little bit more advanced, a lot more advanced than a computer game. So when I said a little bit more advanced, I'm just being sarcastic. So this reality is a little bit more advanced than a computer game, which is a lot more advanced. So you might say, well, how can that, if this is a video game simulation or something similar to that, how can that pole stay there and that bridge stay there, and when I go home and I don't see it and I come back, it's still there? Well, the reason it's there is just like in a video game. You program it. Inside the video game, you cut it off, you cut it back on, there's a memory. It's there because of memory. Remember, and the word memory goes back to member back in, the body of Christ, remembering back in, to remember. And so as you member back in, you're stable. So this is they even call the joist on this thing members, you know, like in a house, there's different members of a floor joist system. And so you could go on and on and on and on, but to make a long story short, what I want to say is, just like a checkered board. So if you're over here on this part of the checkerboard, it looks just like this part of the checkerboard. The same stuff's happening here as over here. The same cross pattern. And so on a checkered board, if you had a checkered board that was an infinite checkered board, left and right, forward and back. A checkered board just was infinite. That's the cross. What happened at the cross? It's an infinite checkered board. Infinity. And so this story was written with that root program of the cross. That root story of the cross. Pro-G-Ram, the ram caught in the thicket, which is Jesus. So what's happening in this earth right now is the whole earth, people are talking about the Great Awakening. Is this the Great Awakening? Well, when everybody wakes up that everything glorifies Jesus, like tree, true, faithful faith, the tree, he went to the cross on the tree. Everything in front of you, Jesus is the bridge. White is the righteousness of Christ. Yellow is the cross. Red is the blood on these trees. The blue sky is the blue letter law sky. And so, notice the sky now is like a grayish color because it's got cloudy and getting ready to rain a little bit. The rain is the cleansing, right? Washing of the water of the Word. And so it's an infinite checkered board that you're playing on, that you're like the referee, like a football game or whatever. They wear black and white for a reason, because they represent the rules. The rules of the game. And the rule of the game is the cross. You cannot escape it. And that's why the harder these agents try to get away from it, the more they get pushed back to it. The harder you run, the more you get pushed back to face to face with it. So if every point on the checkerboard is the same, it looks the same, those black and white squares, and you see those little cross hatches, then it's the same everywhere. It doesn't matter if I have a checkerboard over here in this city, or I take it over, or go look at one over there. It's the same checkerboard. It's the same principle, same game. The rules of the game don't change. If you play checkers over there, it's the same rules as if you play over there. And so really, why even go over there? Because you're already there, even though in the natural it looks like you're not. But all you're doing, let's say I play a game of checkers here on the checkerboard and I take it over there. Why? I can just play it over here. I don't need to go over there. The same truth is here as over there. It's a micro and macro, but it's a fractal. The macro and the micro line up in a fractal manner. And so it's a fractal. As you go deeper into this thing, you'll see that the same truth is at the micro as at the macro. Now the macro gets a little bit more cloudy, but as you get closer to the 0 point, you can see it's all the cross. What happened at the cross? So I'm at the cross. I'm at the cross right now as I'm traveling, and travel means travail. At the cross, at the cross, at the cross. I gotta go get some gas. I got some bad gas. It's trying to sputter here. Weird. I'm at the cross. Oh, I know why I got bad gas. They ran out of gas, and it probably messed up the tanks. I'm at the cross. I'm at the cross. I'm gonna go over to this other gas station. I'm at the cross right now, right now, right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. And you can just, the faster you speed it up, it's still at the cross. And so the destiny and destination travail and travel until Christ be formed in you. So their destiny is the mind of Christ. So as you travel, you're not really going anywhere. Yeah, if I don't follow the rules, see, there has to be rules in the natural, in the flesh. If I don't follow the laws, I'm going to have a wreck, right? Or get a ticket. And so in the natural, there's law. In the spirit, you're above the law. That's why you're down here, because you're still in the natural, and you need the law, and you need the Holy Spirit. You need the letter to bring you to the spirit. And so once you're in the spirit, you're above the law. You don't need the law anymore. But if you want to function down here amongst other people, you have to have some kind of rule-based system to function. Otherwise, everybody be bumping into each other and shooting each other and stabbing each other and fighting with each other. There has to be rules of engagement down here, and that's the law to keep you accountable. What's my point? Look at these pumps. They're all shaped the same. They all look the same. What's my point? My point is, I've noticed that the people around here, I used to come here and there was normal people. Now they look like zombies, and they look like crackheads and drug heads and everything else. This place is going downhill, and it's going to keep getting worse. And so, just like that fence over there, each piece looks the same like the other one, right? So, what am I saying? I'm saying that every point on that checkerboard is the same. So there's no space and time. This point is the same as that point. So it's just a holographic projection. You're in your own little cube, 666 flesh cube. And you're unfolding the cube But while you're in it, all this other people have their little 666 cube, and they're bumping into each other and interacting. That's why I say the less agreements you have down here. That's why Paul said it's better to stay single if you can. The less attachments down here, the easier your experience is. It's just the way it is. Look at a checkered board. Think about each part is the same. What's happening here is happening here. So that means they're the same point.